charge, we get a look at their 6th-year quarterback.
And he comes into these playoffs bringing a team that's been battle-tested, won the division, and earned the home playoff game here in round 1. But every year they know that a division champ, it feels like, gets beat. They don't want to be that team. They have to avoid the overconfidence and make sure they play the same way they played during the regular season, mistake-free and with passion.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
On 1st and 10, Golden. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 40. A good pickup there at 22. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunt. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. They'll look to throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Touchdown! Irv Smith Jr. an 11-yard touchdown. And the Packers are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation,
their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He had the touchdown pass last time they had it. And they'll start here with a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Golden. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
that was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Golden, quick slant here to Smith. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in his first half. It's a first down. Operating from the gun. Golden. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 38-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his one-on-two matchup.
Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a first and goal.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Touchdown, Packers! Irv Smith Jr., a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Packers have moved out in front. In the second quarter, and already his second touchdown. Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He's got 2 touchdown passes on his first 2 drives, and he'll try again here on drive 3. Throwing to start the drive. Golden. He's got Smith here. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. To throw on second down. Golden. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
And Hunt is not going to get there. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Throwing to start the drive. Golden over the middle to Smith. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First down now, but that clock rolling. Operating from the gun. Golden. That's caught. It's Demarcus Robinson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. On first down, Golden. And his throw here's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 40. Operating from the gun. Golden. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing on first down. Golden. Throw left side complete. That's Hunt. No gain on the play. And it'll be second down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And the Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work to run it a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working, but they run it more effectively. they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Golden. Open man. Amari Rodgers complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. And the Giants will take over possession here up at the 44. Last time out, of course, he threw the interception, then they gave up the touchdown. On 1st and 10, Golden. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Understanding he's just down one possession, trying to make something happen by extending the play, but the coverage downfield was excellent. He escaped and bought some time, but that one goes incomplete.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Swings this out for Hunt. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones down.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They trail by a touchdown here in the 4th quarter. Their season, to be frank, it's on the line right now in this wild card matchup. And obviously points are a must here as they begin 1st and 10. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw. Golden. This is Smith with a grab. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
On 1st down, Golden over the middle, and that's caught by Rodgers. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Golden, flush to his right. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson, 34 yards. And the Packers are an extra point away from... The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Throwing on 1st down. Golden. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. Back to throw. Golden. Goes right back to Smith again. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. First down now, but that clock rolling. Looking to throw. Golden. That one caught downfield by Watson. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. That goes for a gain of 31.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Hunt, and he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Kareem Hunt taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Packers have broken our tie and have taken it. The Packers ready to take over offensively. On 1st and 10, Golden. It's caught, Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. On 1st down, Golden. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And he is going to lose yardage here. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. The Packers are moving on as we say thanks for watching and so long. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Throwing on 1st down. Golden looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunt. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's Jacobs from the gun, and they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle, but give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Golden. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. He'll get it inside the 20. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 15-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Throwing again. Golden. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Amari Rodgers, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are on the board first here in this division round matchup. So they take the opening kickoff and drive it all the way down. Their quarterback leading this offense back out. He threw a touchdown pass last time they had it. And he'll look to get him in the end zone again here as they start with the first down. Throwing to start the drive. Golden. It's complete to Robinson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. Back to throw. Golden. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Golden. Man open is Robinson. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 33. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Operating from the gun. Golden. And this one complete to Smith. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Looking to throw. Golden. Touchdown, Packers. Irv Smith Jr. from 8 yards out. And the Packers have moved out in front. That was quite the call down around the goal line on 4th and goal.
Yeah, they fake the run, pull it out, throw it, and as a defense,
their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He's thrown touchdown passes on his last 2 drives as he begins here, 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Golden over the middle, complete. That's Smith. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
To throw on 2nd down. Golden. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 42. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. Back to throw. Golden. Complete. Smith has it. And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. On 1st and 10, Golden. Quick slant to Watson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And quickly into the hands of Robinson. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun. Golden. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Amari Rodgers. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far, as his guys are able to extend their lead. CD, that's his 2nd touchdown. Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. Throwing to start the drive. Golden. He finds his man, complete. It's Smith. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st down, Golden got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Throwing on 1st down, Golden. This is caught by Robinson. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Back to throw again. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the Niners are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, not only... So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Throw left side complete. That's Hunt. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there. No, it appears they're going to mark him short of the first. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. From the gun on third down. Golden looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunt. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. On 1st and 10, Golden. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. Again, he'll drop to throw. Now the Niners get there and bring him down. It's the former Michigan man, Chase Winovich, who gets in there to bring him down. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps... And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now their friend as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to them, 15 big yards. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A throw over the middle, taken in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 26 big yards on that one. It's another first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On first down, Golden. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Looking to throw on second down. Golden. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Finds his man. Watson over the middle. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as he'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this,
the Packers are moving on as we say thanks for watching and so long. Packers get set to go. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Golden. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 27 yards there, a first down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Quick slant here to Smith. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Throwing on first down. Golden, throw left side, complete. That's Hunt. So he stopped for no gain. And that will bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down. Back to throw. Golden. And it's a Packers touchdown. Christian Watson. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Their quarterback leading this offense back out. He connected on all 5 of his throws on that opening drive and finished it with a touchdown pass as they begin here first and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Golden. He fought. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Buccaneers have it.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch them.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. On first and 10, Golden swings this out for Hunt. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
They made a nice effort to stick him in the last for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make
down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers are an extra point away now from moving out in front.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air.
Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He had the touchdown. Throwing to start the drive. Golden looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunt. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throw left side, complete. That's Hunt. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. On first down, Golden. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here. The Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. And I think here with the lead, CD, they have to resist that temptation of kind of looking ahead. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would agree, because they know the stakes. They know the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. And this one, it's far from over. They were the better team in the first half, but they do know that they're facing their toughest opponent of the year, and they've got to be prepared for them to fight it out all the way and add a few extra wrinkles in the second half as well. They need to stay on guard.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Golden. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Shaquille Barrett able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
He's got Smith here. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 28. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10, and he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they showed passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
It's caught, Smith. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Josh Jacobs. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Packers take the opening kickoff. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And the pressure mounting with every passing minute. It's palpable right now. They're on top in the 4th quarter, clinging to that lead. A potential Super Bowl berth resting on their ability to manage the clock and manage that small lead. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Golden. He finds his man, complete. That's Smith. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun. Golden over the middle, complete. It's Smith. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 20-yard line. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Back to the air on second down. Golden. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is...
Touchdown, Packers! Demarcus Robinson, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Packers are closing in on a Super Bowl berth now as they extend their fourth-quarter lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. There's a handoff to Jacobs. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And let's see, the Bucs with 6 DBs, so a dime set here on third down. Looking to throw. Golden. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Throwing to start the drive. Golden. Pass complete to Robinson. And he's going to pick up a first down here as that clock continues to run. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And he'll be taken down after a gain of 8, and defensively they'll say you can have that. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. That's gonna be knocked away and incomplete. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. No change. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. Throwing to start the drive. Golden. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The end result, 21 yards. Back to throw. Golden. This is Smith with a grab. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 26 big yards on that one. It's another first down. Not lacking aggressiveness here to begin overtime, Charles. A pretty big play right there. And looked like it might have caught the defense off guard. They may have been expecting something a little more conservative.
Yeah, they've got to shore things up in a big way because they make any more mistakes like that and really let them drive it on them, they'll be putting their offense in a tough spot to answer if they want to extend their season.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Things now, Charles, looking pretty good here. A great opportunity to try to cash in for 6 on the opening possession of overtime.
And what I'm liking, Brandon, is what I see down on the sidelines. I see a defense huddled up.
Touchdown! And Charles, that touchdown alone doesn't win him the game anymore with the rule changes in overtime in the postseason, but they still went down, scored, got the job done, and now they put it in the hands of their defense.
And with the other side now guaranteed an overtime possession, getting that score was vital. The pressure is now on their opponent and their defense.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Throwing to start the drive. Golden got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call. But when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to them. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Operating from the gun. Golden. Smith catches left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of... Well, Charles, you don't get many more games exciting than that. Not only did we reach overtime in the playoffs, but what a show it was once we got to OT.
And when those new overtime rules were put in place for the